Have you played Soul Shatters? Maybe UTPR? Or maybe even Alternate Battlegrounds? Well, you should play this. Not because it's similar, not at all. So, Untitled Combat Demo Reworked. The original game might have been extremely janky and hard to learn if you're new, but this one's just hard to learn. However, if you do not know what Untitled Combat Demo is, it was an old Soul Shatters-like fighting game, but it stopped receiving updates and support. Most likely because they decided to rework it into this game. Don't be fooled though, it isn't that similar to Soul Shatters. It may be really hard to learn, however, it is extremely rewarding if you decide to stick through with it, with many unique mechanics and the characters having amazing gimmicks. I would say throw 75% of what you learned in Soul Shatters away. This game is very unique compared to them. So when you open up the game, there's a tutorial. You most likely want to do it, but I didn't. So let's go through the viewpoint of someone who didn't go through it. Like me! So you get in, oh, Gigihara, that's pretty normal. You go through the character selector, Sans, that's pretty normal. Oh, Flowey? Oh, that's a new one. Wait, Spamton. It's Spamton, let's go! Anyways, so you get in, you see 3 bars, health, stamina, and mana. Seems pretty normal, right? Like maybe it's Soul Shatters. No, it isn't. Remember managing mana? That was a thing that you had to do, but now in this game it recovers extremely quickly. Same with your sprint, that thing goes down in 5 seconds, faster than Bunny's motivation to work on Soul Shatters. But they come back quickly, independently of each other, going faster when standing still. They go up and down so quickly during a fight, you're never really out of options. And then there's so many different moves. You have counters that counter melee or projectile moves. It's like a normal fight in Soul Shatters, but you have to put your brain power to 200% to just comprehend what's going on. And then all the moves, they have this little gosh darn bar on top of it. This represents aerial moves. You use these moves in the air. They have different variations of moves for on the ground or in the air. This fries my brain on a spiritual level. However, remember that thing about this game being hard to learn? It is. The game shows you 9 moves. You don't have 9 moves for any category. You're gonna have to figure that out by spamming buttons, and then sometimes some moves will have aerials, sometimes they won't. Good luck with that. You're gonna have to memorize them all, and then memorize which ones are counters for which situations. The game goes on a very hands-off approach on telling you what is possible and what isn't. In the game, you're going to be fighting someone and you will be asking, what did they just do to me? And then you're gonna have to memorize them for each different character. Let's go over the characters. They are all unique. Although seriously, they could have just given the numbers a tint if they didn't have a move that exists. There are 4 characters currently in the game, and they're all extremely unique, and they're unique enough that I think they all have their own playstyle. Let's go over them all, shall we? So the first main real character is Gigihara. This is the one that you're shown during the tutorial, and the first one selected in the game. It is probably one of the more complicated ones, if I'm going to be honest. Having 9 different modes just means you're going to have to memorize a lot more. But they don't have their own special mechanics or anything, so they work fairly normally actually. The core of their moveset is in the determination mode. The rest of the categories only have 2 moves each. In determination, we have normal determination slashes, an air version for hitting people's skulls, determination slashes that you can choose when they fire out, special hell, a move which I still have no idea how to dodge, 2 counters, and probably some other thing that I'm forgetting. I personally believe that they're supposed to be a combo-oriented class, but I sorta suck at the game, so I would never know. But even if you are at the point where you're able to do a single combo, it's still fun using the different moves that you have access to be able to beat them up without combos, which is something pretty unheard of for a Soul Shatters type game. Everything's usually about combos, and I like it. Moving straight along the Sans, I believe this is supposed to be some type of zoner character, akin to new Sans in Soul Shatters, but better in every conceivable way. They just didn't make him dodge, which honestly, more games should just do this. It's an easy solution, and it doesn't affect the gameplay all that much. I barely even notice it isn't canon, but who cares? Anyways, what I said about it being sorta similar to New Sans, is that he doesn't have any direct combos, he doesn't have an LMB or anything like that, but he has so much complexity that it cancels everything out. He has like 3 counters, 2 of them are physical, so you can tell that he is meant to deal with people up close in his face. He has multiple great different moves that help deal with people getting up in his face, like Bones 2 for example, teleports you behind the enemy, fires Bones forward that deal stuns, which can let you go into a short, small combo, which is pretty fancy. But, oh, his blasters. You can summon as many blasters as you want, but they slowly drain your mana, and once when you're out of mana, all the blasters disappear. However, you can click to fire the blasters one by one, or you can use Blaster 2 to fire them all at once and charge them up for a stronger attack. But you can also use them to block, and then their fire mode also deals a little bit of stun, so they're great for dealing with enemy attacks. They're amazing for zoning, considering that the blasters are hard to dodge, even from a distance. You can also use the blasters to block. It's extremely fancy. It creates this mental mind game of what should I keep one? Should I fire it now? Should I save it for a combo? I feel like the only way you can really start appreciating it is if you learn how to use sands in general. Anyways, moving on from those 2 amazing characters, we get to Flowey. Alright, I have no idea how to think about Flowey. He's a flower, he has to press R to burrow around to move, but you can click to go further. He starts out with a single move, can actually just be one shot, but he can absorb souls to become the strongest character in the game. So you start off getting your souls by stealing them mostly, hanging around fights and clicking on the souls when they die. But I never got that far with Flowey, so I have no idea how to think about him, because I do not like grinding. It's a cool character concept, and for some reason you see a lot of Floweys in this game. I don't know why. He does become a boss fight at max souls though, so I would totally recommend beating up the tall flowers when you get into the game. Oh boy, it's Spamton. Boy do I love him. More Deltarune stuff should exist in these type of games, I'm gonna be honest. He's currently probably one of the weakest characters in the game right now if we ignore Flowey without souls, but that's because he's pretty unfinished from what I'm seeing. He's been updated with like 3 new moves from when I first saw him. He is very melee based, with strong attacks like the one that just indents a person's skull with a phone. He has some decent combos, but with his LMB literally him just drop kicking someone, you don't really have a specific combo string. He is definitely one of my favorite characters to play, but maybe that's because he's just sorta more simple than the rest. I mean, his move ideas are also pretty hilarious, so that helps. Furthermore, he has a shop system. That's right, you can sell things with this little man. Using your offers mode, you can press 1 to bring up a list of offers. They all have extremely random prices, but they range from things like a heal to 3 souls for Flowey to like literally just dealing damage to you. And then when you're Spamton, you pick out an offer, go up to someone, press 2 to offer them that deal, and if they accept, then they get whatever was on that deal. They made an entire currency for it, Chromer. You get 15 Chromer per kill, but it doesn't save between lives. So you'll only really be selling to murderers if you play Spamton. But you can always kill Floweys for Chromer, so be sure to do that, because flower violence is always hilarious. But that's it for characters, unless we talk about secret characters, but I won't do that, because I don't know the details myself. But they do exist, so go figure them out, they look awesome. And there's a bunch more complexity to this game, I'm sure of it. I'm not that good, I'm not good at all actually. What I'm saying is, give this game some chances. Sure, your first few fights will most likely suck, but this game is awesome, and I think it deserves far more attention. Thank you all for watching though, subscribe if you can, and as I said, seriously, go check out the game. Leave a comment on what you think of the game, or of this video. This is the first time I've tried something like this, so I would like feedback. And now, goodbye.